everybody. This is Armastis, and you're watching Armastis live. And I hope you all, you beautiful people, are doing well today. And what is today? I'm having a brain fart. I guess it's Friday. No, it's Saturday now, morning. Oh my gosh, I literally lost my train of thought. Just blanked out. I'm telling you, it's old age, kids. This is what happens. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Today we are back with another glorious deck profile. But before we jump into the deck profile, first I want to give shout outs to the person that inspired this deck profile on ffdecks.com, because it was not all of my creation. No. I took another person's original creation, and in the comments on ffdecks.com, they actually encouraged us to take it and then change it as we see fit. So I did the same thing, and I was already kind of like inspired to kind of make this type of build anyway. And as you got from the preview, yes, it's Kefka and it's monsters. So I took this person's build and I modified it my own. And the name of this person is what I'm getting to. His name's Cipher. And it's based off of her Pokemon deck. So thank you, Cipher. Shout out to you. So yes, I'm super excited about this one because it's got a bunch of other cool things in it. At least I think so. It is a for fun deck. I guess, you players that are way more talented than myself could take this or take Cypher's build and modify it to make it more competitive. But it is monsters, and monsters, as we all know, are difficult, if you will. They not super duper consistent, but you know. Anyway, what else? Okay, yes, you all are freaking amazing. The subs, I am blown away, and I am so grateful to every single one of you, and the shout outs I am receiving on Facebook and on Twitter and on Reddit. Like, I really appreciate it. You all inspire me, so thank you so much. I love the community. I love every single one of you. You all are awesome. Now, other things. Other housekeeping stuff is we've got, of course, my email, armastislive@gmail.com, and then also, though I'm not a sponsor, and maybe one day I would be, because this is a place I would love to be a sponsor for, because it's super important to me, as I've stated time and time again, and I hope it's important to you all, is mental health. So I do have a link to betterhelp.com down in the video link description. Yeah, honestly, like, whether or not they do sponsor me, I'm going to continue to share it because it's important. Mental health is important. Please take care of yourselves in every single way. Love yourselves, love each other. Other stuff, Sunday we will be back with some more news because we got some cool stuff going, and let's see what else. Oh, we've got Opus 13 coming right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, and so I think we'll probably do like a special stream where we do we'll probably open like 3 boxes. It'll be like a super long stream. We'll be live, and whoever jumps in, and if not, that's okay, because you all like to watch eventually anyway, so it doesn't matter. And we'll do that together. Also hoping to get my hands on some pre-release kits. And when we reach 100, when we do reach 100 subs, we will do a special giveaway. And then Monday, of course, we'll be back with playing some more Final Fantasy on Twitch and on YouTube. We're gonna do them simultaneously. I'm still encouraged to play it. My friend Ari got me set on the right path. Finn, a lovely subscriber here in this community, shouts out to her, because they also have inspired me to keep going with it, and so I will. I'm still trying to think of more ingenious kind of cool ways to integrate the TCG into the game. So I don't know, I'm still tinkering with it. We'll see what happens. Other things, I could have swear, it's like I want to keep talking to you all because you all are so awesome. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop. It's like, shut up, Armastis. Let's get into deck profile. Let's get into it. I'm super excited. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here we go. So this is, of course, I've called it, Kefka's Monsters. I know it took me all but like a second and a half to think of a name for this. And I'm sure somebody's already made a deck called Kefka's Monsters. I don't know. I'm not trying to steal from anybody. I just did it. So I wanted for a while to make a monster type build, and I have not been able to like figure out the best way to do it. And so then I did some searching on the old ffdex.com. Shouts out to these folks here. Great platform. And I was like, all right, let's see what's made. Cipher, of course. Shout out again, Cipher. I saw this Pokemon build and I really, really liked it a lot. And so I took that build as encouraged also in his video description, or in his FFdex description. I took it and modified it. So here we go. This is what we have. And I integrated some of the new stuff, which I kind of like. So this is really a for fun build. This it's not super duper expensive. So for those of you who are interested in making this, here you go. If you want a cheap, fun build to make, I did actually play a build like this over the weekend with my friend Ari. We had a lot of fun. We actually both played monster builds. Hers was more close to like this build, and mine wasn't. And she totally ran me over. It was amazing. So yeah, really fun. Let's jump into it. Okay, so what do we have? Armastis, what do we have here? Okay, so to start off, of course, we have Kefka here, right? The whole point, well, at least what we want to try to build up to, and we may not always build up to, but what we want to build up to is to get Kefka out in the field and then to have a few monsters, preferably more than one, at least two, hopefully three. And we're just going to keep using them to attack. And we have monsters that I think are worth the cost. So monsters are a weird thing. So that I figure that I'm starting to learn with Final Fantasy TCG. I think there's a lot of support, and I hope Square Enix keeps printing more support for monsters, and I hope monsters see more and more play, especially like in the very, very competitive side. But when you compare a monster to like a summon, you're like, I'd rather just use a summon because it just makes more sense. And especially since you can use a summon during your opponent's turn. But not to say that there aren't some good monsters, and I think some of these are some of the best worthwhile monsters. Of course, some of these I brought in from 13, such as Curl and Abyss Worm. But the other ones, of course, were encouraged by by Cipher with his Pokemon build, but also other builds that I've also kind of tinkered with, and like some of my own personal and just others that I've researched. And I think like across the board as a community, we've all kind of figured out, right? Like on our own, like, yeah, these are pretty good monsters in general, worth the cost, right? So we got Kefka. Let's jump into the monsters really quickly. So we got Lava Spider. This monster is really good in general. I think this monster could probably be splashed in to almost any build, honestly. Just the plus 3,000, and as we all know, not many people play monster removal, so that plus 3,000 is pretty dang good. I know, like, depending on the build you have, but I feel like if you like have an empty slot in a build that can bring out fire, kind of type of build monsters, then I think this is a good option, just having this one out here. Another one, which is another older one here, also is Skeletoad, and I kind of feel the same way about with Skeletoad, maybe a little more situational, but I like Skeletoad. I have been on the receiving end of Skeletoad, and it forces a different kind of gameplay, at least from me. I would think that it does that too to other folks as well. So I think it's just a good card. It's again, it just stays out there, and if your opponent manages to get rid of it, like you are at least running like two of these, right? And it's just gonna make sure your opponent's discarding, especially if they're in like, mid to late game and they're just kind of like depending on a card. They're gonna probably have to chuck something anyway. They're probably gonna have to chuck something on me if they're holding on to stuff. So the other some of the older one here is Ozma, which my friend Ari was using this one. I didn't even know this was a card until this last weekend. I was like, that's just cool. It's from Final Fantasy 9. And so I think this is just a good forward in general. It basically can become a forward during your turn or your opponent's turn. It doesn't receive damage from dark cards, which is an added plus. And then you can also, so you can like crash into stuff with it as well, which is great. And then, so you can only use the ability once per turn, but you can discard an Ozma, and then all the forwards your opponent controls lose 2,000 power per each CP required to play them on the field. Required to play them until the end of the turn. You can only use this ability if Ozma is a forward. So the nice thing about this, it's basically a board clear, which is not bad. it's actually pretty good. And oddly enough, I think this could be played pretty often, more often than not. So yeah, so I like that. So to jump into that, what do we have for support for this? So of course we got Kefka, right, which is going to turn our monsters into, which is going to let us search for a monster first off. And it has X burst, but then also use our monsters as forwards if they're not already forwards, such as Abyss Worm or Coral, but like, you know, Skeletal and Lava Spider. And then on top of that, we have, let's talk about, I guess, first with Mira here. So I like Mira because Mira is another kind of constant. It's going to stay on the field, at least hopefully stay on the field. And it's going to reduce the cost of your monsters by 1. Obviously, they can't be 0. Yeah, it's pretty typical. And then I do like the fact that when a monster is put from the field into the break zone, you can dull Mira if it's active. And then you can just search for a monster with the same name and add it to your hand. So it's just a good recycling card. It's really good. And then we have Larkishus, which is another get monster from the break zone kind of card, which is really super awesome. And then you can also pay 2 Earth to search as well for monsters. So I think this is just a good all-around card. I love the full art of this card too. It's really, really nice looking. And then, so we also have Gao, right? Gao here, which is, Gao gains 1,000 for each monster you have on the field, and you're hoping to build up a lot of monsters on the field. And then you can choose one monster of cost 2 or less in your break zone and just play it right on the field. I like that about Gao. It's just bring out Gao and it's just automatically being a monster, so you can chuck something to pay for Gao. Bao, not the food Bao, but Gao, and then it just comes right out. I really love the character too in Final Fantasy VI. So then you can discard a Gao, and then you can choose a forward and just break it, which is a nice added ability. That's why we're also running 3 in here. Otherwise, we'd probably just run 1, maybe 2. And then you can only do this if you have 3 or more monsters. And typically, you're gonna, by that point, you should already have 3. You should hopefully have 3 monsters out on the field. The other, of course, great one here is Realm, which, you know, when she enters the field, you search for up to 1 monster of cost 1 and up to 1 monster of cost 2, and then you just play them, right? It's just freaking fantastic. So really what you want to do is you're just going to be very quickly, easily playing Lava Spider, Curl, Abyss Worm, just right on the spot. There were other cost 2 monsters I was looking at, but I don't know. You know, you all can copy this, of course, right? And modify it to your own liking. But this is what I came up with. This is what I like, and I wanted to play some new stuff. And then at the end of your turns, you can choose one forward opponent controls. If you control 5 or more monsters, you just return it to its owner's hand, which is really incredible if you can get to that point. So to go on top of all of that, so we have Spiritus here, which I'm already a big fan of this card in general. This card is just so amazing. Again, it's just cost 1, lets you play 2 or more dark, lets you search. You can just pay a certain amount, lets you search for a dark and then a dark forward according to how much you've paid, and just play it right on the field. This is basically our quickest way to get Kefka on the field, from our deck to the field. And if Kefka is removed, you're going to be able to remove 1 forward from your opponent from play anyway. So they're going to get punished for that, which is pretty incredible. You can only once per turn, but still, it's pretty incredible. And then we have Don Corneo again. Don Corneo just keeps coming back. So the reason why we have Don Corneo, actually, we should talk about this, is because we have Titania in here. So Titania, I was debating about this card, but since this is a fun deck, right? You know, I was like, why not? It's a new card. Let's throw Titania in here. So Titania's cost 2, and she's 8,000. Typically, with something like that, you're going to have a downside. The downside is that you have to have a forward, a backup, and a monster in your break zone before you can bring out Titania, which isn't always the most difficult thing to do, just in general, just by normal play. But we do have the Don Corneo to help us get to that point much quicker. And of course we have, and then we've got Finn saying hello. Hello there, Finn. I hope you're doing really well. Thank you for joining us. You are super awesome. So going on with Titania, as I was saying here, is when Titania enters the field, you can choose up to 2 characters your opponent controls and duel them and freeze them, which is super awesome. So that's Titania. So to kind of help with Titania, but also to help with just the recycling of things as well, we threw in Don Corneo. I like this card. I like that we have cards to send stuff from the deck to the break zone. That is a very powerful mechanic, and I hope we see more stuff like that in the future with Final Fantasy TCG. But I like Don Corneo because it's got lots of options, right? 2 from deck to break zone. You can duel 7 you can choose a dull forward and break it, and at 15, you can take control of a forward as long as Don Corneo's on the field, which is pretty incredible. I really like that. I think this card is super powerful, and I hope that this card starts to see more play eventually. I don't know, maybe it's too slow, maybe I'm incorrect in this, but I really like this card like a lot actually. And then let's talk about our backups now. So we got Chaos, of course, just, you know, classic Chaos, produce CP. It's just a good card all around. Lets us play more than one dark. And then we have Sid Wolf in here. So this is more monster support stuff in here. So Sid Wolf can't be broken, which most of the time backups don't get broken anyway. We don't see a lot of that happening. And then you can put Sid Wolf, you can put Sid Wolf into the break zone and choose one monster of cost 2 or less in your break zone and play it on the field. You can only use this ability during your turn, but still lets you get back that lava, the coral, the Abyss Worm, the Skeletoad. And then we've got Alchemist to let us. A thing I liked about Alchemist is that it lets us recycle and kind of just like get 2 resources if we need to, discard 1 card, and then, you know, search for same type. So if we have like more than 1 Kefka, or perhaps we just have a Kefka in our hand and it's kind of dead or we don't want it, we can discard it. We can also discard it to get another Kefka to do the kind of some deck thinning, which I do like. Or we can get something like Realm or Gal, right? Since we're discarding for a forward, we can search for a forward. Same with the, we can do the rotation with Titanias, with Don Corneos, with Miras. And then we can also refresh through our monsters, through backups. Alchemist is a good card. It's a really good card in general. Cipher had this in his build, so super genius thinking on their part. Minwoo, of course, Minwoo is just good, right? Minwoo is just another water backup. It's just good. You just have Minwoo. If you're playing water, you got to have Minwoo. End of story, right? It's like, I don't know of a situation when you really wouldn't. I guess unless it's very specific. And then we've got Edward in here, just, you know, more ice backup. And then we can discard Edward to cancel effects. So we run 2 of them for that reason. And then we have 2 snows. I was thinking about just 1, but the only reason we have 2 snows is because in case one of them gets put into our damage zone, I don't want to lose it permanently, because I really like this card. And especially if we're going to get lots of forwards out there, if we get to that state in the game, just having snow in the field, it's going to force opponents' forwards to dull and just clear the way and just go for game. This is what my friend Ari did to me, so I liked it. It's super fun. I think it's very cool. And then Emperor Gestalt. So when Emperor Gestalt enters the field, you choose 1 for your opponent controls, break it, which is great. Just removal in general. And then you can dull Emperor Gestalt, and you can just play 1 dark forward of cost 5 or less from your hand on the field, which is great. So if you have Emperor Gestalt out there, and then you have Kefka in your hand, and you don't want to have to pay another 5, just dull Emperor Gestalt, and then you can just play Kefka. It's just good like that. And then Tyro, we all like Tyro, right? Tyro, search for a forward. It's just a good card in general. If you receive 5 points of damage, you all know. You know Tyro. Tyro's just good. Produce CP of any time. Okay. And then Shantoto. We all know Shantoto. Wipe the field. Board clear. Great card. Love Shantoto. I love that sadistic little girl elf thing, whatever Shantoto is. Anyway, so that's it. So this is the deck. Let's do some few of pretend plays as we typically do here on our Masters Live when we do deck profiles. So let's do this here. Okay, let's make sure my big old noggin isn't in the way of the cards here. I just noticed that my hair was naturally doing some sort of like parting thing. That's really weird. It usually is all sticking up. Anyway. Okay, enough of my hair. So. All right, so we're gonna we're not going to mulligan when we do this because we just want to go with as is. We'll pretend we go first and we'll just draw 1 card. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we started with, ladies and gentlemen. This is a really fun build. I do like this. Let's see. We got a backup here. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's discard Don Corneo and let's really quickly get our wolf out there. Which is pretty great. And then I think on that point we would just pass. We would draw our 2. Oh, make sure we undull there. And ooh, I like this. So what we can do early game punishment. So we could get Spiritus out, but we have an opportunity to get Skeltoad out really quickly. That's devastating if you can get Skeltoad out super quickly. So we're going to go ahead and chuck... Ooh, do we want to chuck that one? Or do we want to chuck Ozma? Tough, tough, tough. I think we're going to chuck Abyss Worm because it's easy to bring back from the break zone. And we're going to get a Skeltoad out there. And I think at this point we would just hold... Say go. I don't know. Maybe our opponent would have a forward out there. We'll just pretend they do, and we'll take damage. We'll take 1 point of damage. That's fine. No, you see, this is why we have 2 snows. This is why we have 2 snows. Okay, so at the end of the turn, they would have to be forced to either play stuff or they're going to be forced to discard because Skeltoad's just super good. So let's go ahead and draw our next 2. This is why we've got 2 Ozmas. Okay, but are we gonna discard an Ozma? Let's see here. What are we gonna do? What's Gal gonna let us do? So Gal will let us play a monster. We could Gestalt, or we could Spiritus here, and then possibly do a search for... This is a tough one here. So if our opponent has something threatening, I would probably want to play Gestalt. If I wanted to, of course, do some researching, I could play Tyro. If we could search immediately for a Kefka. I'm trying to think, would that make more sense if we did something like that? Let us search. Let's see here. 2... Ooh, I don't know if I want to do that. This is I'm actually kind of unsure here. I think what we would probably want to do is we're gonna go ahead and maybe I think we're gonna get Tyro out. I think that's probably gonna be our move here. Unless of course, or we could of course do Emperor Gestalt and then next turn get search for Tyro, which is one option. So let's just do that. Let's pretend we're gonna go ahead and get rid of Osmo, and we're gonna chuck. We would probably chuck Gao. We're gonna play Emperor Gestalt, and then since our opponent probably already has one forward, would probably take out the most threatening one already right off the bat. Pass and say go, and then I don't know. Probably maybe we did, maybe we didn't take any damage. We won't take damage this time. So here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What we can do is we could... Ooh, do I want to search for... Do I want to do some deck thinning and search for... You know what? I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do Spiritus. And then we're going to go ahead and pay 5. I'm still going to keep Tyro. I'm being a little greedy there, but that's okay. I'm going to pay 5. We're going to do a search. Do I want to get Ozma? No, we're going to chuck Ozma. No, I'm gonna hold on Ozma. Oop, let's do a search. Let's see here. Let's view the deck here. And let's go ahead and get our Kefka out here. And nope, that looks good. Let's do a shuffle. Perfecto. Great. And then when Kefka enters the field, we can search for one monster and add it to our hand. So let's go ahead and search for our one monster here. And I think what we do want here is probably going to be Lava Spider. Or either Lava Spider. No, maybe not Ozma. Ozma's a little slow. We could do Curl. You know what? I'm gonna get the Lava Spider. I think we're gonna get the Lava Spider. Lava Spider is just so good. Okay. So not bad. This is pretty good so far. I think this is a good place here to stop. So we'll go to end. We would probably not take damage, even if we did. Depending on what happened here, we're just gonna keep it as is, and we're just gonna draw our next 2 here. Ooh, I like this a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and pay. We're just gonna keep it as is, and we're just gonna draw our next. Well, let's see here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We grabbed a lot of our big boys, and that's okay. But let's get Tyro out on the field. Super awesome. And then let's see, what do we have in our break zone? We do have a monster of forwards, and we don't have backups in there just yet. So I don't know if we want Titania. Super awesome. And then let's see, what do we have? We could play forwards though, which is really nice with that effect. But let's see here. Let's get. I think I want to get Larkesis here, and that way we can add something to our hand. There we go. I'm gonna do the old shuffly, or actually no. Let's get. I think this is a great opportunity actually to get Realm. Would be the preferred. Let's do the shuffly. Unfortunately, we can't do anything with this right now. That's okay. That's totally fine. Or we could get Realm out there. Oh, ooh. Actually, maybe not bad. Do we have, let's make sure we haven't discarded. Yeah. Ooh. This is a little tempting. If I want to hurry up and rush this, I could. I could do my 5 here. Actually, maybe not bad. Let's make sure we haven't discarded. Yeah. So with Spiritus here, you can play 2 or more dark monsters onto the field. Luca Riboldi, I just saw your, excuse me, I just saw your comment here. Let me get this over here so I can make sure I'm keeping an eye here on the comments a little easier here. So Luca Riboldi, I believe I could play 2 or more. So you can play 2 or more dark monsters on the field with Spiritus. Excuse me, I just saw your comment here. Let me get this over here. Unless this is an order situation, but I think that's correct. And correct me if I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, then you know we'll be redoing this hand anyway. But I believe that's the only reason why I was able to play this. So we're gonna go and play Realm, and then let's see here. So at this point, we would search for 1 monster of cost 1, and okay, and up to 1 monster of cost 2, and play them on the field. Okay, so we at least get our cost 1, and here is where we're gonna get our lava spider right here. Boop. And oh, let's go ahead and shuffle. I guess this is where we should have maybe had cost 2 now that we've played Realm, but that's okay. Again, you can always copy this build and then modify it, but just for fun build. So we got a lava spider out there. And then, okay, so Luca Riboldi says it's different from Chaos with Opus 1. If you don't mind sharing in the comments a little bit of a, of the, oh, thank you. You already did. It says it has written another thing. Search for him. You have to play Spiritus first, then other dark monsters. Well, thank you very much. Okay. Well, there you go from Luca. So that's super helpful. Super duper helpful. And then Chaos says you can play it even if you already control other dark characters. So it's a nice little so some shout outs there to Luca. We'd have to play Spiritus first before we can play Emperor Gestal. So there was an order situation there. But we're gonna keep going. We'll keep that in mind with our next hand that we play through. Super good to know, because if I ever show up to a tournament, I wouldn't want to make that mistake. So let's try that. So we'll redo that again. So at this point, this is where we would kind of like explode right now with the Kefka, which it would allow us to make forwards. This just came out, so I'm not sure. And perhaps Luke out there would actually know too, is if I played a monster this turn and I turned it into a forward, can I also attack with it? I really don't know. And maybe Luca can help us out with that. But we're going to keep going. I'm going to say that I can't for now. But we could at least attack with a, what is it? Kefka makes him a 7. So this would be 10,000. This would be a 7,000. And then if we chose to attack the Spiritus, right? So, and I think really that's, so that kind of gets the idea of this deck, right? So let's go ahead and let's restart a new hand and see. Boop, there we go. All right. So we've got here, and okay, so we got Emperor Gestal this time. We'll remember that we can't play Emperor Gestal first. We'd have to play Spiritus first, or Chaos. Spiritus or Chaos. So let's remember that. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and let's draw our card.
Okay, so we got Emperor
Ooh.
Remember that we can't play Emperor
Ooh, okay, that's okay. We'll get rid of poor Snowy here. Snow's not seeing any play here. And
so let's remember that. Okay,
so
let's go ahead and let's draw our card.
I think we're gonna go ahead and we would pass at this point. We would go ahead and just draw our 2 here.
Ooh, okay, that's okay. We'll get rid of poor Snowy here.
And at least, hey, we could play some stuff here. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's chuck Ozma. Let's get Mira out on the field. Yeah, I like that. So Mira's super great. And then we're going to go ahead and pay 1 here. And we're going to go ahead and get our Curl out on the field really quickly right there. We're going to go ahead and leave this as is. Not sure if I want to play this other one yet. We're going to go ahead and pass. So we would probably would end up taking damage. That's okay. And there goes our Titania. That's okay too. So we'll just go ahead and draw our 2 cards here. Ooh, I like it. Okay. Yeah. So, oh, let's see here what Luca has to say here. So, if the monster was played one turn ago, you can attack with him. If you play and transform it in this turn, you can't because it needs haste. Okay, so there we go. So Luca did clarify that. So I did do that one correctly. So that's super helpful. Thank you, Luca. Okay. So let's go ahead and if we discarded an Abyss Worm for Larkicious, and then we could play that 1 card. Here we go.
I did do that one correctly.
Super helpful. Thank you, Luca. Okay. Oh no. So don't worry, Luca. You were 100% correctly. So thank you. Okay. So we've got our Lachesis out here, which lets us play 1 monster from our break zone. Oh wait. Does this just choose 1 monster from break zone? Oh, and add it to your hand. That was my bad. That was a misplay. That goes here, and then I can actually bring back another monster into my hand. Okay. So let's get this into my hand. And then let's see here. I think on this point we would just probably pass here. I do like that though. This card's really good. All right. So we got two cards out there. Let's take some more damage in our pretend game. Oh, we get Tyro. And with Tyro, since we can search for a forward, and we know now that we need Spiritus, let's go ahead and get Spiritus out in the field first. Not make that mistake. So let's go ahead and shuffle. Activate. Draw our 2. Draw. Ooh, this is good. This is really good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and first play our Spiritus with our 1, and then we will activate old Spiritus's effect, and we'll go ahead and go 2. I guess 4, and do I want to get, let's see here, the Kefka will let us search, so let's go ahead and go 6, and let's go ahead and get now our Kefka out into the field. Where are you at, Kefka? Oh, there you are. So colorful that I forget, makes it harder to see. Okay, so let's search for 1 monster. Let's get our Lava Spider. Because I really like the Lava Spider. Or do we want a Scale Toad? Yeah, we'll get a Lava Spider into our hand. Go ahead and shuffle. And hey, thank you, Finn. Yeah, I love this game. I'm super passionate about this game. It's so fun. It is an amazing game. Square Enix has done some really great stuff here. So thank you, Finn, and thank you for your passion for this game and for being a watcher, a sub. All of you, you all are awesome. Okay, so we got Kefka out here. This is fantastic. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, and then let's see here. So we've got 1. And I think we probably, at this point, we probably pass. So we've gotten some pretty good stuff. The nice thing is I have to remember that these, my monsters, excluding these ones, do get deducted. Okay, so we do have Kefka out here. We can block with some stuff just in case. But let's go ahead and activate. Let's go ahead and draw our 2. And, ooh, this is nice. This is very nice. All right. We do need to get the Lava Spider eventually out there. So I think And we would be kind of mid to late game, so I'm not sure if we want Skeltoad out yet. So instead, I'm going to actually bring out
All right.
Pyro.
We do need to get
And I'm going to
some
search
Lava Spider eventually.
for...
So I think.
Ba-ba-bum.
And we would be kind
Let's
of
see
mid to late game,
here.
so I'm not sure we want Skeltoad out
I'm going to search for
yet.
Gao, actually. We're going to get Gao out because I really like Gao. And then the thing is like this deck's pretty slow. We're probably gonna take a beating. Again, it's for fun. But if we did get desperate and we did pass and we did have to block, we could always block with Mira or like in fact I would probably block with this one here. And then we probably just take 1 point of damage. That's okay. Activate all, and then let's draw our 2 cards. If I had a Kefka in my hand, I would probably block with Kefka because then I get Spiritus' effect. But I think it's situational. It does depend. Okay. So, ooh, this is good. This is really good. All right. So let's go ahead and we could. Do I want to get Realm out there? No. I'm actually going to discard a Realm, and I'm going to get Alchemist out there because we need more backups. I'm gonna pay 1 for my Lava Spider. And see here. Ooh. I got my Skeltoad. I think we're good. We're gonna go ahead and activate Kefka's effect because we're gonna go ahead and do this one, which would be forward anyway. So actually we don't need to because we've already taken 3 when you think about it, and it's already gonna be a forward now. Not bad. And we have to remember too that Coral here would dull and freeze. Dull or freeze a forward as well, depending on what we wanted to do, which is super awesome. So we have a 9k, 9, 10, 11, 12, an 8, and a 5. Yeah, so like it would be safe, I think, at this point to start attacking. Probably attack with those 2. We pass. Let's activate our. Let's maybe draw a couple more hands here. Ooh, we do have Titania now. Let's see what Titania. We got a backup. We've got a forward. And we've got monsters. That's awesome. So, what we could do... Let's see here. We could do 1, 2, 3. I probably wouldn't need a Skeltoad at this point. And then we play our Gao. And then we can go ahead and go and let's see, choose 1 monster of 2 or less in your break zone and play it on the field. So let's look in our break zone here, and we can go with another monster here, our Abyss Worm. And when Abyss Worm is field, we choose 1 forward until the end of the turn. It gains 3,000 power and brave, so don't forget that. Oh, and it is a forward immediately anyways, right? And since we've had Lava Spider out there for another turn, see, this is where this deck just gets really disgustingly good. Right, oops. So we could activate Kefka, and we can get all of these forward. So with Lava Spider, we've got 9, excuse me, 9 and 8. I mean, no, wait. I can count. Sorry. That's 10k, 10k, 9, 10k, and then this would be 8k. Yeah, so with all of this right here, we couldn't attack with Gal because that just came out, but we could attack with all of this. And at this point, we're pretty much punishing, and this is really good, and it's beautiful, and it's wonderful, and it's great. So this is it. Obviously, going through this together, there are some changes we could make. We can maybe add some level 2 monsters in here. But other than that, I think this is a freaking fun, amazing deck. I highly encourage you all to give it a shot. It's super fun. Let's go ahead and let's go back to our deck profile here, to the overview. And so this is it. This is Kefka's Monsters. I know it's not an original name. I'm sure it's been used before. It's just what I thought of off the top of my head. Let me know in the comments what you all think of this deck profile. I really like it. Again, it's super fun, especially in a very casual game. You know, if for you pros out there, maybe you can do something to pro it up. But whatever changes you do, I'd love to know. And I'm sure other people would love to know. So share it in the comments. That would be amazing, your deck profile. And then, yeah. So, hey, thank you all for watching. Once again, for all those who joined us in the comments, you all are awesome. Always appreciate the feedback. I always appreciate the encouragement. Everything. You all are super amazing. So this is it. This is, again, Kefka's Monsters. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, you're all wonderful. You're all beautiful. You're all loved. Until next time, bye-bye. everything. You all are super amazing. So this is it. This is